Hello, my name is James Archer and I'm the Liberal Democrat Parliamentary Candidate for Erewash. Erewash has several railways that run through it and now 2 stations, so in this video I want to talk to you about the Liberal Democrats' policies for the railways and my own personal view on HS2. Firstly, I'll start by declaring an interest. I am a train enthusiast. This is my late father's fault, getting my sister and I to note down the numbers of the trains on trips from the south coast as children. So when I walk my dogs by the Erewash Canal, I still watch out for the trains passing, and guess what? Some of them are still the same Class 43 diesel locomotives with their slam-door coaches that we used 35 years ago. We were promised electrification, but after other electrification projects overran, the Midland Mainline electrification was cancelled by Chris Grayling in his tenure over the Department of Transport that rightly earned him the nickname Failing Grayling. The Liberal Democrats are committed to electrifying the railways to reduce pollution, improve reliability and reduce running costs. We also committed to reopening closed lines, like the Ivanhoe line in Leicestershire or the Shirebrook to Ollerton line in Nottinghamshire, to improve local connections to the rail network. Liberal Democrats are also committed to the creation of regional transport authorities, and it is the creation of an East Midlands Transport Authority that would enable these projects to be coordinated and the strategy for integrated local transport to be set. We also have plans for ticketing reform. Why should a passenger have to be an expert in where to split a ticket to get the best deal on train travel? And season tickets must be reformed to allow part-time and flexible working. Unlike Labour, we are not committed to spending public money renationalising the railways. Whilst it is true Network Rail is already nationally owned, and we could allow all the franchises to lapse and run them directly, as happened to the East Coast Main Line, we would still have to buy the rolling stock back off the train leasing companies, and that would cost money. There's no evidence that public or private companies are any less or more efficient at running public services. I, like many others will, remember British Rail, and not fondly, so we would not spend money to change a system that is delivering better service for passengers with historically low levels of government investment. My priority, if I am elected to Parliament, would be to ensure the Midland Main Line, the last diesel main line, is electrified. Prioritised over HS2. Erewash has had the threat of HS2 hanging over us for some time now. To some residents, this is the threat of their house being demolished. And I perhaps should say towering over us rather than hanging. A 22-metre high viaduct cutting Long Eaton in half is in my view not a price worth paying for a station at Toton. The Conservative government has commissioned a review into HS2, which it is rumoured may contain the recommendation to scrap the 2B phase, the phase which involves building the line from Birmingham to Leeds through Erewash on that 22-metre high viaduct. But the government is sitting on that review rather than release it and ease some uncertainty about the HS2 project, which is blighting residents' lives. The Liberal Democrats are committed to both the HS2 and HS3 projects in principle, so long as they are delivered on time, and they must provide value for money. However, a recent IET study slammed all large infrastructure projects for not learning lessons from previous projects, leading to overestimating of the economic benefits and underestimating of the costs or timescales. In the absence of the results of the review, we can only speculate over whether HS2 Phase 2B will be built. If it does, I should be fighting to make sure the Midland Connect suggestion of closing the existing low-level line through Long Eaton with its 2-level crossings is adopted, which will actually bring improved connectivity within Long Eaton. Then the new HS2 line can follow the route of the closed line on a much lower viaduct, as it will no longer have to cross the A6005 road bridge, which could be levelled. It would then be possible to build a more traditional brick-like structure in keeping with the rest of the area and reducing the number of houses demolished to an absolute minimum. I will also be campaigning against the diversion of most local services to the Toton station, increasing journey time from Long Eaton to Nottingham on these services by 14 minutes on a journey that currently takes less than 20 minutes. HS2 should not make local services worse. If it does, it has failed Erewash. If, however, the review results in the cancellation of HS2 through Erewash, I should be fighting to keep alive the idea of closing the low-level line and diverting trains by the high-level line, and the idea of a station at Toton. Toton sidings are now barely used, and the new Toton station could be served by trains direct to Derby and London, giving almost equivalent benefits to the HS2 station. And what's more, a direct train to London from Toton could stop at Ilkeston on its way from Chesterfield or Sheffield on an electrified Midland Main Line. A station at Toton could also be a stop on a new Erewash Valley Line service linking Derby, Spondon, Long Eaton and calling it Towton, then on to Ilkeston, Alfreton and Chesterfield, linking Ilkeston to Long Eaton and Derby. A vote for me and the Liberal Democrats will help deliver improved railways for the country and for Erewash, and give a voice in Parliament to make sure if HS2 goes ahead, it benefits Erewash properly.